Yeah, it's football season, guys. Come on, get hyped. I can't wait to watch men get paid $2 million to give each other brain damage and talk about politics on Twitter. It's gonna be awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, man, I'm so pumped for football. I can't wait to watch football as well. It's just, that's the only thing, it's the only sport I kind of watch nowadays. Anyway. Yeah, man, you know it. I can't wait to talk about all the new teams, players, teams, whatever, you know. I'm totally a football fan, and I do love the Cowboys, okay? They're my favorite football team from Miami or Texas or wherever they're from. Hold on. Get a phone call. Hello? Okay. Well, I mean, no. I mean, like, we're not going to use... Okay, calm down. Calm down. Okay. We're not actually going to use any images. I mean, we'll show an image. Oh, we can't? Oh, and wearing these already bad enough? I see. Okay, no, I get it. Thank you. Who was that? Well, that was the NFL. They said that if we show any images or pretty much wearing any of their team's logos without paying them $2 million, then they'll sue us for $2 billion. Well, now what? Man, whoever knew that football franchise makes billions cares about a YouTube channel who makes zero off these videos. Oh, now what? Oh, I know. We could always just review that one football film, the horror one. That has nothing to do with the NFL. I'm pretty sure they don't mind some free publicity. I hope so, right? Watching a football movie that doesn't talk about the NFL? Okay, why not? Let's go. I don't even know who the Cowboys are. I don't even watch football. Yeah, I know you don't really care. I just feel like I'm the only one that cares. To the movies! So, welcome back to the channel. How's it going? This is another movie review, and today I'm reviewing the brand new film, or whenever I upload this, who knows, it might be old as hell by this point, but I'm reviewing the new horror thriller called Him. This is a football horror movie that has been produced by Jordan Peele, who is known to make some pretty interesting horror movies. And of course, he's right now in the works of a horror video game with Hideo Kojima called OD, I believe. Yeah, OD. So, this is a brand new horror film that everyone's been kind of excited for. I'm more interested in it because I like the idea of a horror-themed sports movie, especially with football, considering how football is already kind of violent. Like, as somebody who likes football, I do understand the consequences of it, and I wish players don't get hurt. Obviously, it's a very physical game that takes a toll on your body and mental health, and a lot of pros have had serious head problems to the point where they have killed themselves and others, and it's terrible. And so, seeing a movie like this kind of shine a light on the physical and mental toll of a player, especially in football, is quite interesting to me. So I was more or less curious, and I like the whole, idea of a, football kind of horror theme. I think is what I'm trying to get at here. For spoilers, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. It's just more or less kind of be similar to what I did with the review of Fixed, except I'm actually taking time to care about it and talk about it. So, let's get into it. Let's first start with the negative, which is, unfortunately, the story. Yeah, the story. Well, here's the thing. The story's not terrible, but it's also not great either. Like, to give you a brief summary, we follow Marcus. He is a young college quarterback who is considered to be the greatest of all time at this point, and so many pros want to scout him to try and get him on their teams. One night when he was practicing by himself in the field, he was attacked by a crazy masked fan who gave him a head concussion. I believe he bumped him on the head with a hammer, and of course this will cause brain swelling and stitches inside his skull. Afterwards, his football career was kind of already dead in the water, but Marcus's agent was determined to help him get healthy, and so he called up Isaiah, who is the QB of this team called the Saviors, basically part of some make-believe NFL team, basically like the NFL but not. Isaiah agrees to take in Marcus, under his wing to help train him. And Marcus, of course, is excited because him and his late dad used to be a huge fan, is a fan of Isaiah and his team. When Marcus was growing up, he would watch Isaiah win, I believe, 8 to 10 championships. I believe 8, But anyway, he goes to his compound, which is like this remote place in the desert with a couple of weird fans. And basically, when he gets there, training goes well, but then things get more and more violent and intense. And I think this is where the movie kind of falls apart a bit, because it tries to introduce like so many interesting twists and turns and all this other stuff, but I think by the end, when you think you understand the climax, and this is the thing too, the concept is really cool. Like, when the big climax happens and you understand what's going on and why they're doing this to Marcus, it's really cool, and I like the idea, but it's not really well fleshed out. It's kind of like just thrown upon you, like just randomly. And even by the end, there's a huge twist, and obviously you're like, oh, that's a pretty cool twist, but then another twist happens, and you kind of scratch your head like, why was that thrown in the movie last minute? And it's crazy. Like I said, the first half of the story is interesting because it talks about how fans treat athletes like as if they're pieces of garbage, like they don't deserve to live, or they're nobodies, or they're like the gods of gods, like they are basically someone to be, praised to. And it's really cool, and it shows how people really don't care about players' well-being to a degree, which is kind of true nowadays. But then the movie takes a weird turn, and I think they lean too much into the whole idea of football, and like it's very cultish-like environment sometimes. And I get what they were trying to do, but I just don't think it was well fleshed out. I think if they cut some scenes and made some scenes longer, I feel like it would have been better. So there's that. Enough. And so that's the story segment. The negative is sometimes a lot of character interactions don't really mesh well together. Like, they're not terrible, but they're not bad. Or sometimes scenes last a little too long. And also, to not spoil too much, but for some reason everyone says GOAT or him a little too much. Like, literally in the opening, when Cameron is like getting prepped for his tryout before being accepted by Isaiah to do this compound training, some guy comes up to him and goes like, hey man, you're GOAT Kardashian, you're goated, you're him Kardashian. And of course there's a scene where Isaiah screams, I'm the GOAT, I'm him of football and stuff like that. And it's just a lot of that weird stuff. But it's not terrible, I would say. It's just kind of weird how many times they say him, which is the name of the movie. Oh my gosh, it makes sense now. It makes perfect sense. And all that stuff. I think personally the biggest gripe with this movie is a lot of the narrative decisions, because you see it there and you just wish that they would have punched into it a little more. Like, if they would have more time with the writing department, because you can see the vision. Like, the vision is so gorgeous to look at. A horror football theme sounds like a dream child, but it kind of isn't anything. It's just meh. But the positives are that the effects and the way how they use some of the effects is really clever. Like, where we see the inside of a player and his skeleton, that's kind of cool. The inside of Marcus's brain when he's like having problems is pretty cool. We also see just how crazy things are going, and we're wondering if this is all in Marcus's head or not. When you see like visions of mascots killing somebody or like being strangled, that's kind of cool. Like feeling suffocation and stuff. Like, there's a scene where he's in the hallway and he looks over and he sees like cameras flashing with guys, and then out of nowhere, like, this mascot looking guy puts a plastic bag over his head and he can't breathe, and you see commentators ask him questions, and then just like that he's okay, like he's checking himself, it was all in his head. That's kind of cool. I like that, and I wish it would have more of that psychological horror, but you really don't get that too much. So whatever effects and horror is in there, it's good, but it's just, I wish it was more. Also, another thing, I'm trying to point out the good, but I'm now pointing out more positives. This whole movie slight spoiler, takes place all in this like compound. So Marxus doesn't even play a game. We don't see other Savior players. We don't even see the other players and teams of this league. It's just the Saviors and Isaiah and Marcus and a couple other medical people. Oh, and Isaiah's wife. And for some reason, the owner comes in way late in the movie, and that's it. We don't see any other players in the Saviors. We only see Isaiah. That's the only real player of the Saviors. Everyone else is explained as free agents, just volunteering for this opportunity. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like, I think it would have been interesting to see how like other players feel about this kind of environment. We just don't get that. And it's kind of disappointing. But, sorry, back to positives. The acting. I think everyone did an amazing job. I think despite some of the weird story decisions, I feel like everyone did a pretty good job with this movie and how they acted. I think honestly the performances was good. I have nothing else negative to say really. Nothing too negative, you know. I feel like everything turned out as fine. I feel like everyone did fine. I don't know why I'm rambling too much. Everyone did good. That's what I'm trying to say. Is the point. So overall, is him bad? No, not really. It's not terrible, but it's also not, you know, the greatest movie of all time. I think what I got from this was that this was a cool idea that just needed more time in the oven to cook. And that's just sad. I feel like this movie could have been something better. I feel like this could have been a movie for sports fans and horror fans alike to enjoy, but it's just not enough. And like I said, the twist ending is kind of what kind of dampers it a bit too much as well. So overall, Him is a very interesting film that I think has potential. And I think, honestly, if they ever do make another one, which I don't think they will, let's be honest, if they do, make it into a show. If you want to make a football horror theme, make it into a show. That's what I do. So what's the final verdict for Him? Him gets a whopping 7 out of 10. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it at the same time. It's like the middle ground, you know? Like, I see their vision and what they were going for. I think they had at least another 30 minutes to this movie, or maybe cut some scenes out that were kind of not necessary to put in. I feel like it would have been a much more enjoyable movie, in my opinion. But overall, with the acting and visuals, I think everyone did great in that. I think the story just needed a little bit more, you know, tweaking, I would say. So there you go. That is Him, my personal review. It's not super long, I'm sorry, but you know what? I think I enjoyed the movie. Not super excited as I wanted to be, or not scared, but you know what? I think overall, it's enjoyable to a degree. I mean, the ending is pretty fucking weird, I'll say that, but hey, life is weird, right? I guess, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.